Okay, guys, welcome to this week's Friday Waffle. Once again, it's Thursday. I should actually rename it the Thursday Waffle because I do record these. I've probably recorded, I would say, the last half a dozen on a Thursday, just because I've got stuff on a Friday, but it doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter. It comes out on a Friday, and that's the important thing. So listen, how the hell are you? I hope you've had a decent week. By the way, apologies about the bright light. I've got a light here. Let me have a quick play with it. That's what she said to him. Here we go. Yep. If I turn the light off, it's a wee bit dark. How do I turn it off? But no, there we go. That's light off. That's a bit dark, I think. Light on, and then we can mess about. That's getting brighter. I don't want it like that. I want it. Whoa, there's different colour. That kind of looks a bit better. I think it's not quite as dazzling. It's more kind of natural skin tone. So anyway, enough about my technical woes. Yeah, it's Thursday. How's my week been? Work-wise, it's been mega busy. It's been really busy. Been pretty tiring. This whole COVID thing. I was hoping, like everybody else, we were kind of getting to the end of it, and just when you think it's getting back to normal, it seems to rear its ugly head again. So that's affecting me. It's affecting my work quite a bit at the moment. But it is what it is. I think next is at the end of the month. Apparently, we're supposed to be just going back to normal. There's not meant to be any restrictions of any kind. But I think as long as people can carry out lateral flow tests, then people are still going to do them and they're still going to isolate. Is that a good or bad thing? I don't know. I mean, I think we should almost get to the point where we just do away with tests and you apply common sense. If you're not feeling great, it's like before COVID. Before COVID came along, if you were going to a party on a Friday night and you felt like shit, you felt really ill, you wouldn't go. You wouldn't, if you had a stinking cold, you wouldn't go. You wouldn't be that daft to go. And it's the same with COVID. I think we've got to get to a stage now where we use common sense. But anyway, what else? Anything else? Not been doing a great deal. I've just been mega busy. I managed to get a couple of videos done this week. I did put out one. In fact, it's quite funny actually. I put out one called Demon's Crest. It was a Meme Meister 10-minute mashup, and I think it's quite funny from the point of view of it's gathered 91 views, which I get usually maybe 200 views on a video. It's what is crystal clear to me is people that watch my channel are not interested in SNES games at all. They're not interested. Now, to be fair, I mean, I don't have a lot of nostalgia for the SNES. I did own a SNES. I bought one back in the day. I only had it for a short period of time, and I think I sold it to get an Amiga because I think I can't remember what happened. I think I had to sell my Amiga, and I ended up getting a SNES, and then I wanted to. No, I sold it actually to put towards a PC. But yeah, so I don't have a lot of nostalgia for like 16-bit consoles, and certainly not for it. Although I had a PlayStation, I don't have a lot of nostalgia for it at all. And it's, as I says, it's crystal clear that the people that watch my channel, they want to see they want to see classic video games, they want to see arcade games, they want to see Spectrum, Amstrad, C64, Commodore Amiga. And I was talking about top tips for having a YouTube channel, and what I was saying is it's important that you talk about something that you got a genuine interest in, because people will just see through you if you're talking about something that you're not interested in. And it's and I think I said you've got to kind of stay relevant. Keep your channel relevant as to what you normally talk about. If you've got I can't remember what example I made. If you've got a channel dedicated to collecting stamps, then don't talk about the latest PlayStation 5 game. Don't talk about Call of Duty or football. People talk about stamps, and it's the same with me. When you've got a retro kind of based channel, you need to stick to the topic, which is laughable considering probably 90% of my waffles have nothing at all to do with video games. But that is because I kind of feel I've almost ran out of stuff to talk about. When you've been making waffles for 9 years, and I mean, I don't know how many weeks I've missed. There's very few. I would reckon I've probably missed less than 10 weeks out of all these years. When you've been making videos for as long as I have, it does, you do get to a point where you kind of feel like you've kind of, the well is empty. Uh, and so I end up just talking bollocks. What do you guys think? This is a genuine question. I know there's my waffle is, it doesn't get big numbers, and I mean I understand that because the Friday Waffle, the title isn't something that you would Google. It's not like you would ever Google the Friday Waffle. The Friday Waffle people, the people that watch my Friday Waffle is because they've obviously come across my channel because they've been Googling, a Commodore 64 game or something. They've found my channel, they've watched a video, and they've thought, oh, let's just see what this guy's all about. And, oh, Friday Waffle. And obviously, if you kind of get to know a person, then I can understand why some people do find the Friday Waffle fairly entertaining. But for an outsider, it's you're not going to enjoy it at all. Um, Here's a question: the people that watch, now this is obviously just directed to the people that are watching it, because obviously if you're listening to me talking, then you must watch the Friday Waffle. Does it bother you that I go off topic quite a lot when I'm doing the Friday Waffle? Like I say, there's been times where I've hardly spoke about a game, retro game and whatever. Does that actually bother you? Do you still have an interest in watching the waffle? Let me know. Let me know. And also, just getting back to what I was saying about the making a video about the SNES. Now, as much as again, I've always said it's my channel and I will do what I want. It's not to say I don't care what people think. Of course I do, because if I was making content that nobody was interested in watching, then what is the point of me? Why don't I just play the game and not record it? Why bother recording something if nobody's going to watch it? So yeah, it's important that I do what I want to do, but on the flip side, I don't want to be making videos that people are not interested in watching. I totally understand why some people have no interest in the SNES. I think the 90 people that did watch it are probably regular Main Meister viewers. You'll watch any shite that I put out. Trust me, I do put a lot of that out. So yeah, let me know what you think. What sort of areas of video games do you like me concentrating on? Now, I think I kind of know the answer to this. It's going to be classic arcade games. It's going to be 8-bit. It's going to be 16-bit. 16-bit computers, Amiga ST. Are you interested in seeing me feature more SNES games, Mega Drive games? Let me know. Let me know. Same with, I suppose, stuff like PlayStation. But I don't have a lot of nostalgia for these. I mean, regardless of what anyone actually says, I will from time to time. I mean, if I find a game that I've maybe never heard of, or a game that I'm aware of and never really played. In other words, if I find a game that I think's brilliant, bloody brilliant, it was the same with that Demon's Crest, then I'm going to tell you about it because I'm a video gamer, and if me showing a game that I enjoy, it might just be enough for somebody to watch the video and think, you know what, that's actually a bloody good game. I'm going to give it a go. So I'm still going to continue doing SNES, Mega Drive, PC Engine type videos, but they're going to be few and far between, because my hobby, my interest, my true love is always going to be the 16-bit, sorry, 8-bit first and foremost, and then I'm going to include stuff with the Atari ST and what have you. So yeah, that's kind of been it. I says this week I've not been doing an awful lot. I was at Cook Soul. Now I can't remember if I mentioned that or not. I was meant to be going to my grading. Now, if you do martial arts, you get a thing called a grading. It's a test, and it's like an exam where you have to demonstrate. You've got to demonstrate showing what you've been shown. And so, with Cook Soul, you've got to do a number of moves. There's different kind of like techniques, and there's various forms that you've got to do. The form that I'm currently learning is in 6 parts, and it probably takes about 2 minutes for like an expert to do it. And I've got to learn the first 3 parts. I'm kind of there. So yeah, I was meant to go from every 3 months. I don't know if it's the same. If anyone else can tell me. In Cook Soul, every 3 months you get a grading, and if you get it, then you move up a belt. I'm white belt, obviously. If I pass my grading, I will go up to a white belt with a yellow band, and then in June it'll be, if I get past it, it'll be a yellow belt, and then so on and so forth. I think when you get to black belt, they reckon the quickest you can get to black belt is it 2 years? 2 years, 4 years. I can't remember. My mate Kenny, I don't know if Kenny watches my waffles. He did tell me. But after you get to a black belt, you've got to wait something like 2 years to get a grading to go up a dan. It also costs quite a bit of money as well. So, even if I was the next Bruce Lee, if I was doing Cook Soul for, I don't know, 20 years or 10 years, whatever, probably the highest I could possibly go would be a black belt, maybe third dan. But the chances of that happening are extremely slim. You don't know. Depends how my health is. I mean, I'm not getting any younger. Um, the fact that I'm still pushing myself to, going along to martial arts at 54 years old, I'm quite proud of myself that I'm still doing stuff like that, because, and I've got a few mates who they're a wee bit younger than me, and I have to say they're not in the. They don't keep well. They don't keep well at all. And I see people half my age, and they're overweight, they're fat, they've got health issues. So I'm very, very lucky. I think that I'm kind of doing all right. I'm doing all right. But yeah. Anyway, Cook Show. Getting back on topic. I was meant to be going along on last Saturday for my grading. I was at my girlfriend's house, and on the Friday night, I started to feel a wee bit dodgy. It was one of these. It wasn't like a full-on headache, but I could feel there was like the start of a headache kind of coming, and I just felt a bit rubbish. My bones kind of felt sore. It almost felt like I was coming down with the flu. So that was Friday night. Then I woke up about 4 o'clock in the morning, and I almost felt like I'd had a hangover. I mean, I've not had a hangover for, I don't know, 10 years, maybe not as much as that, but I've not had a hangover for a long, long time. But I woke up about 4 in the morning. My head was kind of banging a wee bit, and I thought, oh, no, I don't feel good at all. So I did a lateral flow COVID test, and it was negative. So I thought, right, that's fine. I'll still go to Cook School in the morning. But I woke up about 9 o'clock, and I still felt like shit. So I reluctantly had to message my Master Graham, and tell him that I wouldn't be along. And there was loads of photographs of people breaking wood, and guy black belts doing all this real super kind of ninja stuff. So I was quite jealous. I was jealous I didn't get to go along, but I was there last night. Had a really good workout. Yeah, I love it. I absolutely love it. I mean, it's quite scary. It's scary at my age, pushing yourself and learning new stuff. But that in itself is good. Getting to learn new things. You're never ever too old to learn something new, whether it's learning a new language, or whether it's learning how to program, or whether it's starting running, taking up a martial art. As long as you've got two legs, two arms, and you can still see and walk, then why not? But yeah, I don't know, I sound like some kind of health preacher person. I don't mean to be like that at all. But anyway, yes. So I didn't get to go to my grading on Saturday, which was disappointing. But I was there last night, and fortunately, there's now three guys my age, maybe a wee bit younger than me, because everybody's younger than me. That is a fact. There's three guys there or thereabouts age-wise, and we're all going to be doing our grading. I think it's 2 weeks on Saturday. I think that's when it's going to be. So looking forward to that. Yeah, so that was last night. And obviously this is Thursday because I record these early. Not doing a great deal. Tomorrow night, when you're watching this, I will be, all going well, I will be at a bowling club quiz, a quiz night. There's quite a lot of these. They're always good fun. They're quite hard. Some of the questions, they tend to kind of focus on a certain age group, but they're always good fun. So I've got that on that's on Friday night, and Saturday night I'm actually going. I'm going away to a hotel. It's my girlfriend's birthday coming up in April. So I've booked a little hotel room. It's a hotel. We'll get bed and breakfast up in Inverary. Now, if you don't know where Inverary is, it's on the road to Oban. You go along past Loch Lomond, etc. It's a beautiful drive. Inverary is lovely. It's most famous or most notable for having a jail, Inverary Jail. Now, that closed a long, long time ago, and you can visit it. And I've been up there a few times. I have to say, Inverary Jail was one of the most cushy numbers you could ever get. Now, I don't know when it closed. It opened probably 100 years ago. I don't know exactly. You can Google it, have a look for yourself. And yeah, it was a jail, designed for various things. But you know what? As far as jails went, it was actually, I think they got treated pretty well. In other words, if you're going to go to a jail, you want to go to Inverary Jail. So it's great. It's all been it's still decked out in the original, whatever it was back then. If you ever get a chance to go up there, go in and have a look. It's a really nice place. So that's going up there. I've got my cook soul. I can't miss that. Obviously, I've got my cook soul on Saturday morning, and then we're going to drive up to Inverary. We'll probably go out for something nice to eat, and then we're going to come back down on Sunday. And all going well again, I will be along 7 o'clock to 9 for what I hope is the final part of the 40th anniversary of the Spectrum. I don't know why I'm looking there. I should be looking up there. So I've got that on Thursday, on Sunday. I mentioned the word Google. I was up at my sister's tonight, and my mum and dad, I mean, they both passed away. I mean, my mum died when she died in 1998. So I would only be, 32. I was only 32 years old. So still quite young, you know what I mean? I'm 54 now. So I've not had my mum for a long, long time. And I mean, my dad passed away. He passed away a couple of years ago. He passed away in 2013. Actually, my goodness! In fact, next year it's going to be 10 years. That's mental. It's just flown in. It really has. But yeah, I was talking to my sister, and we were saying how if my mum was to suddenly, this is morbid. If my mum was to come back from the dead right now, there are so many phrases that she would not understand. She's never heard. She wouldn't know what the internet was. She wouldn't be aware of Google. People say, yeah, Google that. She would never have heard of COVID. She would probably never have heard of self-isolation, lateral flow test, PCR. What else? Binge watching, Netflix, box set, um, WhatsApp. Yep, WhatsApp me. text message. No, maybe a text message. I think, yeah, I think my mum and dad, I think they might have had a Nokia 3310 at the point my mum died. But yeah, it's bizarre. It's bizarre when you think of all the things that have just become. Apparently, I think Google has now become an official phrase in Oxford Dictionary. To Google it, it's a phrase. Yep, you don't, if you say that to somebody, they know exactly what you're talking about. It's weird. Yeah, the stuff when you think about, how far we've come technology-wise. I mean, if you look at I don't know, a flight simulator on the Commodore 64, and then you look at it. Well, there again, it is 40 years, but compare like an early flight simulator on the C64 or Spectrum, and compare it with Microsoft 2021 Flight Simulator. It is incredible. It really is. I've been playing a fair bit of that. I've not played it for a couple of weeks, I have to say, but yeah, Flight Simulator is astonishing. I just fly. I actually follow the roads. I follow motorways. I don't follow flight paths. I just want to look at my house and fly over places that I've been. But yeah, anyway, getting back on topic, it's mental when you think about just how technology, where we are. We're getting to the point where we're probably not going to be able to have diesel cars or petrol cars. It's all going to be electric. Though with the price of bloody fuel, the quicker these electric cars come along, the better, I think. But what was I going to say? There was something I was going to say yesterday that I did yesterday. What the hell was it? I can't remember. Nope, I can't remember at all. Anyway, not to worry. Like, listen, it is going to be a shorter than normal Friday Waffle because I've not really got that much to talk about. Listen, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to jump straight into the questions now. In fact, the questions are over here. So if you're wondering why I'm looking over there, it's because I'm looking at the questions. Right, Colin Jones. I listened to the podcast version of this due to having 2 hours on a train. Great waffle as always, and love the way you two bounce off each other. Steady. Yeah, he's talking about I had Del Boy on my Friday waffle, so he's not talking bouncing off each other quite literally, thankfully, and I'm sure Del would agree. Yep, for the more obscure systems, for example, BBC, Archimedes, the Mister does really well, but a capture card will be essential. Oh, is that if I was going to start capturing a Mister? Right now, Colin, I mean, I think I was told I placed an order for a Mister. I reckon, when would it be? It was before Christmas time. I reckon it was October. And then, yeah, you quite simply can't get the parts. And I was told it was probably going to be July this year before I get a Mister. I've actually given up. I've given up even. I mean, I even bought the keyboard. I bought a keyboard for it, but I've kind of given up getting one because I just think there's so much stuff going on in the world at the moment, and yeah, I think using computer chips for a Mister's probably right down there on the lowest priority thing. So whether I ever get one, I don't know. I would still love to get a Mister. If anyone knows if anyone's selling a decent one second hand, give me a shout. Or if anyone knows where to get them, please give me a shout. But I think they're impossible to get. And even if I did get a Mr. Colin, the chances of me using a capture card, it's not going to happen because I am. I like simple things. When it comes to doing videos, I like just to point a camera at the screen or just use emulation. So I don't think you're ever going to see me using a capture card unless somebody was wanting to give me a capture card. Absolutely, that would be wonderful. Just before I go into Colin's question, it was Steve from Retro and Lim. He made a comment on a video I put out, I reckon probably 2-3 years ago, and it's in fact I'm just going to go and grab it. Just 2 ticks. Right, yeah. Listen, Steve put a comment about a video that I done quite a long time ago. Like I say, so it's probably 2-3 years ago, and it was It's not a handheld. It's a handheld controller that you can slot a phone or a tablet into. And he was just basically saying how good it was. Now, I'd actually forgotten all about it, and it's called the Ipega thing. And what it does is you can just basically pull it apart, and then you can just slot a thing in. So I've got. Let me just get this working. Let me go for MAME. I just thought, you know what, I need to start playing this again, and I'm having amazing. I'm having fantastic fun with this thing. And I mean, there's all these different handhelds and what have you, but you know what? Nothing comes close to having. Excuse me a little second. I think the Bluetooth's been switched off in this. Come on, Bluetooth. There we go. Yeah, nothing comes close to having a decent powered Android tablet. You know, it does emulation way better than most of these things, right? Is this going to start working? Hang on. There we go. Right, let me just load up one just to let you see how awesome this is. You're obviously not going to hear it because I've got my headphones on. Come on, how do we start? There we go. Yeah, look at that. Well, that doesn't look like much, but wait till it actually starts. You can see the light. There we go. How cool is that? That is bloody awesome. Massive. Oops. Right, I've not picked a particularly good. I seem to have gone into service mode. Ah, bollocks. Right. Anyway, right. It doesn't really matter. Anyway, I've been playing this a lot. This is awesome. You can basically put in any tablet. You can put in a phone. Really good. I'll try and actually put a link to the actual thing. In fact, let me just come out of this just now. Back, exit game. Yep, let me just quickly load up. Come out. God damn it. Yeah, I'll just do the old fashioned way, kill it like that. There we go. Yeah, let's try something else. Anytime I load up a Mega Drive emulator, the first game I load to check how good it is, it's always Sonic the Hedgehog. Right, why is that not working? Load game. Oh, I need to go to that. I need to go to that. Then I need to go to Mega Drive. You don't have to mess about with this. I'll tell you what, let's try something. Let's try Streets of Rage. There we go. Let me just turn the light off on this thing for a second so you can actually see this. Come on. There we go. Ah, yeah. Hopefully you can see that. It's just bloody awesome. It really is. I mean, look at the size. Look at the size of that. That's what she said to him. Really nice. Anyway, that's what I've been kind of game wise. That's what I've been playing over the last few days. You can't beat a quick game of Rolling Thunder before bedtime. Actually, you know what? I've just noticed the football's on tonight. Scotland are playing. You be quiet. You turn off. Scotland are playing Poland tonight. Well, Thursday night, which will be your last night if you're watching this on Friday. So anyway, listen, let's just crack on with this, right? Colin's asking waffle question for next time. We all know how good the SID is, but what 8-bit computer console do you think had the next best sound music capabilities? 8-bit, excuse me, 8-bit computer. I'm trying to think. I mean, I'm not that familiar with it, but I do know that the Spectrum 128 did have some decent sound, and is it the +3, +2? It did have some. It had a better sound chip. There's some really impressive stuff. The Atari 8-bit. I mean, the sound chip was good for games, but I don't really know what the actual music capabilities of it were. I've never really heard much in the way of kind of demos. I can't really think of anything else. I mean, the BBC, it had that beeper, so I wouldn't say that was a particularly good machine for sound. Like I says, the Spectrum, that had I don't even know what the name of the chip is because I'm completely clueless when it comes to stuff like that. But yeah, I think probably like the Spectrum 128 or the Spectrum Plus, whatever it's called, +2, +3, that did have quite good sound music capabilities. Yeah, probably go for that one. So anyway, listen, Colin, thank you very much. Right, Wee Bob Art, great waffle as always. Thanks, Bob. Sad watcher here at 4 a.m. and I'm awake and not well, common cold. The inserted footage being added really helped, as sometimes I'm a bit lost on some references occasionally. Yeah, I can't remember what I was talking about. I was talking about sound effects in games, and I just kind of slotted them in. I do like to try and drop little bits like that, and I think it helps to kind of keep it interesting. You're not just staring at bloody me all the time. Wait a minute, I need to turn this light on again. I'll put it back on again. Oh, there we go. That is mega bright. Right, anyway, Bob's asking, do you have any game-related clothing that you like to wear in public? Have you had anyone comment on any specific T-shirt or the like? Hope you have a great weekend. I did, Bob. Thank you very much. I was going to say I will be honest. It's not about an embarrassment because I'm proud of being a gamer. I'll tell anybody. I mean, you can't be embarrassed about being a video gamer and then having a YouTube channel because that would just be a bit stupid. But I'm not a fan of wearing video game stuff. Like, I mean, I know, and there's nothing wrong with it. Lots of my mates will quite happily wear a Pac-Man t-shirt or some kind of manga-related t-shirt. I don't know. I would rather just wear a plain t-shirt. I mean, this t-shirt I've got on, my daughter bought me it for my Christmas, I think it was. I wouldn't normally buy a super dry. I'm quite tight-fisted. I'm quite happy just with a plain black t-shirt, whatever. But yeah, it's not something I would really wear. I'm not one of these people that likes to wear kind of novelty t-shirts. It's just not, that's not me at all. So no, I don't think there is, Bob. I don't think there's any. I do have, or at least I used to have. I mean, people would think because you're a gamer, you want to wear Pac-Man socks or Space Invader t-shirts and that kind of stuff. In fact, I do actually have a Space Invader t-shirt, but I don't think I think I might have worn it once. I think the only video game channel, I think the only video game apparel that I would wear would probably be an Atari joystick. Atari, listen to me, I need to stop and think before I talk. My tongue just works on autopilot. It would be a plain Atari t-shirt. I think there's something quite cool about the wee logo, or even just the word Atari. I think that's the only kind of gaming related thing that I would actually wear. Absolutely, there's nothing wrong with it. It's just not my thing. So anyway, Bob, thank you very much. Dale Boy, quality waffle as always. Thank you very much, Dale. Then again, I am in it. Very true. Question for you. If you eliminate the C64 as a thing, what would computers look like today without the development of the VIC-2 chip, SID chip, etc.? I mean, if you eliminate the C64 as a thing, what would computers look like? Okay, so let's just completely ignore the C64. What if Sinclair created the SID chip? Would you have bought one in that era and held on to it longer? Uh, I mean, the reason I wanted, when computers first kind of became a thing, I wanted a Spectrum. I mean, I wanted a C64, but, just because it was, it was more expensive, but I knew I wasn't going to get one. But I wanted a Spectrum. But then when I started working, and I remember one of the guys, I was working part-time, and one of the guys that I was working with, we got talking about computers, and he told me that he had a Commodore 64, and I said, oh, I was going to get a Spectrum, and I think he said, no, don't get a Spectrum. The Spectrums are rubbish. Get a Commodore 64. And I did. I bought it myself. I took out hire purchase, and I paid it off. I think it was £12 a month, something like that. It was a lot of money back in 1983. That was a lot of money. But yeah, I would have quite happily got a Spectrum. So I mean, if the Spectrum had come out with a SID chip, it would have been, even better. I mean, the Spectrum is a wonderful computer. Personally, I'm a C64 man through and through. Even if I wasn't, I still think, if you had to pick a computer, I think pound for pound, the C64 is probably ticks all the boxes. Now, there is a video, by the way, that's it's been half done, and hopefully we'll get it finished in the next couple of weeks. And it's where we compare all the 8-bit computers. We kind of rate them 1 to 10 based on graphics, sound, games, software, etc. But yeah, I think if I never had a computer, I think I would probably say, yep, the Commodore 64 was the best one. But the Spectrum is bloody awesome. It really, really is. And yeah, the one weak part, or especially the 48K one, the one with a little beeper, was the sound. I mean, the sound doesn't matter what you say. The sound was quirky. Again, it brings back a lot of nostalgia. But you could not possibly win an argument and say that the Spectrum sound was good. It wasn't. So yeah, if the Spectrum had a SID chip, yeah, it would have made a good computer even better, Dale. It really would have. And you know what? See, if I hadn't got the Commodore 64 and I'd bought a Spectrum, I would have been quite happy with that. I really would have. And that's what happened. What was it I said? Who was I talking to? It might have been Dominic Diamond, actually. I said Spectrums were for the council kids, council estate kids. The BBC was for the extremely rich kids. The C64 were for the spoiled kids, and the Ataris were for people who, I don't know, lived in the countryside. But no, seriously, I mean, if I hadn't got a Commodore 64 and got a Spectrum, I would have probably loved it. I really would have, because I mean, I've only, when I say fairly recently, in the last 10 years, got a Spectrum, and I think it's a great computer. Some of the games that it can program, I mean, as one programmer said, the Spectrum was basically, it was a keyboard and memory, and you could do whatever you wanted with it, whereas the C64 had limitations, and because of that, you worked within these limitations. The Spectrum didn't have any limitations, so you just pushed it as hard as you could. Just a quick one, before I forget. Did anybody watch the Halford Johnson versus Eddie Hall boxing match last Saturday? If you don't know what that is, these two guys, if you watch Game of Thrones, Halford Johnson, or Thor as he's known as, he played, what was he called? The Mountain in Game of Thrones. And he was the world's strongest man in 2018, I think it was. And Eddie Hall was the world's strongest man in 2017. They had basically Halford Johnson felt that he was cheated out of the 2017 title, and because Eddie Hall won it, he didn't congratulate him, something like that. And they've been basically arguing about it like two big girls. You shouldn't say that, should you? They've been arguing about it like two children, I should say. And they challenged each other to a boxing match. Now they've been practicing. They've been training for 2 years. It was meant to have gone ahead in September, but Eddie Hall tore a bicep, yeah, and it had to get pushed back. So it was on Saturday, and there was a lot of bad blood, some real bad blood between them, especially from Eddie Hall. I mean, I was an Eddie Hall fan, but the way he's acted in the sort of build up to, I just thought was completely childish, being really nasty, and I didn't, quite frankly, I've actually gone off the guy, and thankfully. Bjornsson actually won. He won the boxing match. It was actually a good fight. It was only 6 rounds, but to be fair, for two guys who are not boxers, it was actually really good. One thing that really annoyed me though, it was getting streamed on, is it SETA TV, SETA, something like that it's called, and it was awful. It was absolutely awful. It was buffering constantly, probably down to the number of people that was watching it. But yeah, that was quite good. Apologies if I spoiled it. If you've not seen it, you would have to have lived in a cave the last week, because all you get is this boxing match. So anyway, listen, Dale, thanks for the question. Down the rabbit hole, thanks for the mention, you guys. I agree, the community thing seems to have dwindled down to zero lately. Yeah, I was just talking about how 10 years ago, this little kind of hobby of ours, sort of retro gaming, I know I hate that phrase, but anyway, that's what people know it as. It used to be there was there was a good community. Other people who made videos would help each other. They would mention other channels. They would give you shout outs. I don't think, other than Del Boy, Panther, Down the Rabbit Hole, Wee Bob, Colin Jones, basically guys that watch my channel. My channel is never mentioned ever in any other channels. Even guys that I used to watch regularly and all that, they never mention my channel. And whereas I do mention channels quite a lot. And I just think, I don't know what it is. I don't know. I just think society in general has become very, very insular. People just they're only interested in themselves. They don't want to help other people. And I just think that's a great shame, that people other channels don't want to help each other. I will always try and help other channels. I did give a shout out to LFC Gamer, and also I've mentioned Dale Boy's channel quite a few times. I've mentioned Panthers. You know, I'll always kind of plug my friends' channels, and if I see a channel I quite like, I will give it a mention. Why wouldn't you do that? So anyway, Kev, there's no question from you, buddy, but anyway, thanks for taking time to comment. Robert Morrison, I was talking about CoinOps. I kind of hate to break it to you, but if you're going to look for an updated version of CoinOps, you'll probably be looking for CoinOps Retro Arcade 2. They've gone through Next 2, Arcade, Arcade 2, Arcade 2, and now I see there's something called Player 2 and one called Player Legends. It's all a bit much. I've more or less given up and trying to keep up. Yeah, listen, Robert. I mean, I've got a ridiculously sized collection on CoinOps. It does everything I want it to do, so I will stick to that. I did start downloading CoinOps 2, which does feature kind of some 8-bit machines, which is really nice. It's a nice way to play it. So yeah, I'll probably just kind of stick with them. But anyway, thanks for the comment. Next one is Cy Turtle. Great chat. Are you buying the Amiga A500? What do you think of it? Listen, thank you very much for mentioning that. I was actually I watched a video last night, somebody looking at it, and I was going to mention it. I completely forgot, so thank you very much for mentioning it. The Amiga A500 Mini. Yeah, if anyone's seen the Commodore 64 Mini, it's made by the same group of people. It's the Amiga A500 Mini. It's scaled down, obviously. It doesn't have a working keyboard. It does come with a very slightly smaller than normal tank kind of mouse, and it also comes with it comes with the controller, or a version of the controller that the CD32 had. Now, it's not a nice controller. Well, the CD32 controller is not a good controller. It's probably one of the worst ones you could actually play, but for some reason, they've included that. I don't know why they couldn't have included a proper 8-bit joystick, a proper Atari joystick, a USB version, because that's the thing that stops me playing these mini C64s, are the joysticks. They are shit. Yeah, I know what I mean. I now use a wireless gamepad, but I would prefer using a joystick. But the built-in joysticks that come with them are just terrible. Really not a fan of them at all. But yeah, getting back on topic, the Amiga A500, it's a wee mini scaled-down version. The guy opened it up, and it's basic as. It's got a little board. Yeah, it plays. I think it comes. I don't know how many games. It comes with maybe. Excuse me. I'm consciously perforating people's eardrums when I cough into the microphone. It comes with maybe, I don't know, 30 games. There's a lot of games I wouldn't have included. There's a metric ton of games that I would like to have seen included. However, you can quite easily plug in a USB stick and play it. Am I going to buy one? You know what? I don't have any need for it. I mean, it's basically it's an emulation thing. It's like a Raspberry Pi, but it's kind of been configured properly, so it does work well. If you want to have the opportunity to play Amiga games, if you don't have a real Amiga, you're not interested in emulation, and you want to basically play Commodore Amiga games on your big HD TV, then it's a no-brainer. You plug it in the HDMI port, and yeah, you can just play it. So for somebody like who just wants to play the games, it's a no-brainer. For somebody like myself, and people are probably watching this channel, we're more kind of old school. We like the original hardware and that kind of stuff. So it's not doing anything that I can't already do. I can play Amiga games on my Raspberry Pi if I want. I've also got an Amiga behind me. You can't see it because I'm parked in front of it. So I'm not in any mad rush to buy it. I'll see what price it is. I mean, I think they're still about £100. I think it comes out. Apparently, gets released in the UK first, then it gets released in America. I think it comes out in. I think it's coming out this month, not this month. I think it comes out in April actually, so that'll be interesting to see. But depending on the price, I probably will pick up one eventually, but I'm not in any mad rush to get one. But it's like all these mini systems, they've got their place. For somebody who has great memories of having an Amiga, but they've not played an Amiga for 20 years or 30 years, whatever it is, it's perfect. It's a perfect Christmas gift for somebody's birthday. Just before I finish up, I was getting a new bed delivered, and the guys that delivered it, they came into my games room, and they went, "Oh wow, look at this!" And like, there was two of them, and they were looking at all the things, and the guys like, "Oh, I used to have Astro Wars. Oh, look at that, Sega Saturn. Oh wow!" And you know what? It always amazes me, and I love it. I love the fact that people come into my house and see these things, and it just triggers all kinds of memories. It's great. And that's why I have these things. I love the fact that I can use them, but I also love the fact that it triggers memories for other people. Somebody that's desperate. Oh, I remember having Astro Wars or Galaxy Invader, whatever it is. So that was quite funny. And very lastly, the Yamo. I can't stand the term man cave either. I do like Retro Man Cave YouTube channel, though. Neil comes across as a really nice bloke. Yeah, I've met Neil once. I met him down in Blackpool about 3 years ago. I didn't actually know who he was, and I don't think he knew who I was either. But yeah, Neil's got a really good channel. I'm not a fan of the big YouTubers, I have to say. I just think that a lot of them are very dry and scripted. Some of the big channels I do enjoy watching, Retro Man Cave and Kim Justice. I think they've both got fantastic channels. So anyway, listen, I'm going to get going. I hope you all have a really, really nice weekend. I will be along on Sunday from 7 till 9. So I hope you can join me then. Have a great weekend, guys. I've just repeated myself, haven't I? And as always, Thank you very much for watching.